Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome again to our rubric, How Did I Come to Krishna Consciousness? And today we have again very special guest, Nadia Prakash Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Nadia Prakash Prabhu is actually a child of devotees, and it's very interesting to see how he started practicing Krishna consciousness, because not every child of devotees actually is practicing. And please, Prabhu, tell us, what is your wonderful story? How did you come to Krishna consciousness?
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji Chandrika. I'm happy to be here. My story started very usual way. My mother went to some yoga festival and she came back with a lot of Indian spices and said from this day we're not eating meat anymore. There is God also, because I'm from atheistic family. My mother was complete atheist, my father was atheist.
How old were you that time?
I was 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody was atheist, like anything, and she was like, okay, there is God and we are not eating meat, and actually we have to be nice people, and actually life is not only about material things. And everybody was shocked, like, wow. What's going on?
But that was like a Hare Krishna yoga retreat that she went?
It's a little bit long. I'll tell it shortly. She went to some hotel with spa hotel with a lot of different practices, and some people did to her massage. It was Ayurvedic massage.
Okay.
And she saw that these people that did the Ayurvedic massage was some very shiny and happy.
Okay.
And she was thinking, why are they so happy? And she heard that after work they're going to some temple. And she went with them to this temple, and then they started to preach to her. And if I remember correctly, maybe you have some interview with my mother also.
Okay.
So she will tell you better. If I remember correctly, after this she went to some yoga festivals, and then she became serious. Yeah, and I remember this day that she came from somewhere, maybe from this hotel, maybe from some seminar.
Okay.
Because maybe in the beginning she was not so serious, but at one point she went somewhere and she came back. Because I was small, I don't remember so nice. I just saw my mother was not here, then she is here with a lot of spices and changing the life, and everybody was shocked. And
your family is your mother, father, sister, and you.
Yeah, that's it. The biggest problem was with my father, because he was like, I'm small, I don't care so much. But my father was like, what means that we not eat meat anymore? What, are you crazy?
Not normal.
And like we go to a restaurant, she's like, nobody is eating. I'm offering the food. And for our family, it was like, and my father was little bit joking with her, but then it became serious problem. I will not go deep in it, but I very easily accepted that we have to be vegetarians, because since I'm very small, I remember maybe I was 5 or 6 years old. There was some birthday, and there was big table for the adults and small table for kids. And I remember just like today, I'm on this table for the small kids in the garden, and I just screamed for my mother, mom, come from the big table, because I had a realization. There was this, if I remember correctly, chicken wing, and I was like, Mom, is it a part of animal body? And she was like, yeah. And I was like our body, the same body, but we cut piece and we eat it. And she was like, don't think about this.
Wow.
And a few years later, when she started giving me to read about being vegetarian and give me videos about slaughterhouses, I was like very easily
convinced.
It was quite easy also to understand that there is God. It was kind of logical for me.
So you accepted everything
I
since the beginning.
accepted kind of easily these things. I didn't accept the rules and regulations. This was
Okay.
too much for me. Like, okay, there is God, okay, not eating meat, and everything else, like my friends are doing, I also want to do. Yeah, but for my father was bigger problem, everything. Like with this goat, with these prayers, with this vegetarian food, it was big problem. And I remember there was always fights, like every family, but then there was bigger fights. My father against the religion, my mother protecting the religion. It was big problem. But at one point, by the mercy of Krishna, my father became devotee also after few years.
Very nice devotee.
Yeah,
We know him as a devotee. I don't know him before that.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, so he became also a devotee by the mercy of my mother and the other devotees. That it was not working, but when he met other devotees, then
usually it works like that.
Yeah. So he became also devotee, and I remember this morning when he became the serious devotee, because for our family, being devotee was very connected with healthy life. Like, okay, we have to be devotees, and everything have to be perfect. Our spiritual, our material life, our
like
health.
Sattva Guna should
Sattva Guna have to be there. Yeah.
So tell us about your experience.
So it was early morning, summertime vacation. That it's vacation, you don't have to go to school. And my father comes early in the morning and says, now every morning 6 o'clock we do exercise and this and that and cold shower and
cold shower.
Yeah, cold shower. Cold shower was easy for me because I always was inspired with the cold shower thing. Everything else, no. He was like, now we do healthy life, we have to run every morning, we have to do this, that. Yeah, so my father also became extremely fanatic, actually, devotee.
Okay.
And with my mother, they both.
What age were you at that time?
I think I was around 12.
12,
13.
And your sister?
She's 1 year older.
Oh, okay, so close age.
So it was they're fanatic devotees. I'm like, I don't want this stuff, but I was still doing it. It was okay. But then I became 14. And then the crazy life started for me. Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, and all kinds of stuff.
But your parents told you that you shouldn't do that?
Yeah, of course. There was devotees, fanatic devotees, not just devotees, fanatic Sattva Guna devotees. Like the TV was thrown away from the house immediately. Like food from the shop was forbidden. Like you go
everything.
It was the most forbidden thing to cheese, no bread, no, I don't know, bakery, nothing. Only things that are cooked at home and offered to the god.
Which is the best.
Which is the best.
But
and I'm very thankful because of them I had now not very much, but when I was small my health was super good. Like I didn't know what is to be tired. You can say it's because I was young, but I had other friends and they was tired all the time. But I not because I go to bed early, wake up early, exercise in the morning, sattvic food, no food in the evening. So it was very nice for me, but I didn't understand that. But when I became 14, then like in the week, maybe at least 2 or 3 days, I was escaping home after 10. Like from the window, climbing three floors down, and go to drink with my friends, and then come back and
Krishna.
And drink this.
In this apartment that I remember, Brgavnica.
Yeah, there was this climatic. This AC system, and there is part that is outside.
Yes.
And this was my step to go in and out.
Krishna.
And it was like this, but at one point it fell because I did too much. Yeah, so that was me, very nonsense guy.
Teenager.
Yeah,
usual teenager.
Yeah, I was not eating meat, but everything else I have done. And then also interesting thing that I really kind of believe that there is something like in every situation that I'm scared, I was singing Narasimha Pranam. Because when I was small, and this fanatic period when I was not doing nonsense and my parents was fanatic, they were sending me all the time to some Hare Krishna kids summer camps, and
wow.
I went to some programs. Yeah, I forgot to tell you this. I was at one point when I was small, maybe 11 years old, I became serious devotee also. I was chanting 16 rounds. I was interested in all these things. I remember some very ecstatic feelings that I had on kirtans. It was very nice.
Mhm.
But then when I started having more and more desires to go out with friends and this and that, and everything was forbidden for me, and I started hating this more and more. And at one point, I gave a vow that I will never do nothing with Krishna consciousness. I gave a serious vow. I remember I was with my parents on some, again in Bulgaria, some Hare Krishna festival, or maybe Ukraine, don't remember. And they took my phone again from my hands. You know, you don't touch the phone. And I was like, I give a vow. I will not have anything in connection with Krishna from this day on.
Wow.
Yeah. A bit crazy, but still after this, when I was scared, I was singing Narasimha Pranam.
Just to make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah. Also, even after this, when I started, I don't know, whatever I was doing, I was praying to Shiva, also to Krishna, that something happened, that this girl likes me, or whatever. Yeah. So when the plane was doing like this, also praying to Krishna. But that all the other time I was doing only nonsense. And so nonsense. It was too much. Even when I was 17, my parents kicked me out of home because it was too much.
Oh my God.
You don't know that?
I mean, no, I don't know the details.
Yeah, I will not tell you too much details because it's too much. But when I was 17, they kicked me out.
But because of drugs?
Yeah, all the things that I did, it was too much.
Okay.
Yeah. So they kicked me out. My father paid for the first few months for some place for me to stay. And
amazing.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what you did for parents to kick you out from the home.
A lot of things for a long period of time.
Okay, we will not go in details. Okay, and then
I'm extremely extreme. Like
when you do something, you go very deep in this thing.
At least I'm trying, because now I understood that in Krishna consciousness I'm just trying to be extreme, but it's not happening. But in this other thing, it's easy to go extreme, so I went.
Okay. Yeah. And what happened when you were out of home?
Continuing doing all kinds of nonsense and surviving, because we have to survive now.
Did you study at that time?
I studied kinda, but then I stopped. Like they kicked me out from one school, then from other, then I went back to the first school, and then they wanted to kick me out again. And then I said, let me just go to home education, education from home, so you don't kick me out, and I will not make you problems. I'm at home. And I just stopped studying. I was 10th grade. Yeah. So and then I stopped studying. I was on home education, and I was just doing parties, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. At one point, I remember I was living at the house of my friend. He was a drug dealer. And he was just, shall I say all these things?
Yes. It's very interesting how from fanatic point of view, you became this and then this.
Yeah, so I remember I was at his home. He was living with his father. His father was not very okay, but he was like, okay, what to do? My son's drug dealer, at least he's making money. And we was in one room, and it was kind of like this room, like, here is bed, there is other bed, here is the windows, it's on the first floor, and all the time, like every 30 minutes, somebody was knocking on the window, and he was like laying on the bed and just giving some drugs out from the window. Like this, and I was on the other bed just looking at him. I was like, very nice. Nice job. And yeah, it was just weed, not something heavy.
Yeah.
It's also heavy.
Don't do that. Don't do this.
Don't do this. It's
Stupid.
so nonsense. So stupid
Waste
to
of
do it.
time.
It's not just waste of time. It's complete waste of your potential, of your intelligence, of your inner power, inner strength. Everything is going away just to have some fun for a few minutes, and then you're just 50% more stupid version of yourself. Like
Wow.
50% of your intelligence goes, 50% of your happiness goes, 50% of your charisma goes, everything goes. So yeah, don't do it. So I was there. He was selling drugs. He was giving me to smoke for free. He was giving me food, and we was every time I get some money, we go together with my friends. We play poker, and that was my life.
Wow.
And then one day, I see on my bank account there is 50,000 euro from somewhere. So
50,000
euro.
Oh my God.
Because 10 years before that there was car accident.
Okay.
And they just 10 years later in Canada, 10 years later, they decided to give me 50,000 euro.
Like insurance?
Yeah. No, just I had big problems with my head because of this at this point.
And the country pays you for
No,
this?
the country, the insurance company of the other guy.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So I got a lot of money and I was like, yoo-hoo.
When you became 18 years old?
I was around 18, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think exactly 18.
Yes, because they cannot give you the money before that. Because,
I think I was 18 years. So I got some money. I remember this like today. I'm in this room. I like miserable guy with this drug dealer guy. And I remember he was sleeping. Maybe it was 12 in the day, but he was still sleeping. And I was not 100% nonsense. I was always, there was no moment in my life when I was thinking, oh, it's so bad and I'm going to be drug addict or something. I was always deep inside me, I was understanding there is God, there is higher things in life. And actually I have to become very successful guy. And at one point, maybe also spiritual guy. It was always in my head, but I was not doing it. So I was doing exercise and this and that. I was not complete like...
Yeah, nonsense guy,
yeah.
Okay.
So this day I saw the money. He was sleeping. Immediately I went to the bank. I was arguing with them because they said you cannot get everything now. I wanted everything cash now. And I convinced them to give me around 10,000 euro and I cash, and I immediately came back and make some jokes with him and then showed him the money. He was like, oh, very nice. We went shopping to the mall and okay, I think this is too much details.
No, I'm interested. What did you do with this money?
Guess what was the first thing that I did with the money?
Casino?
No.
No, I cannot guess.
I bought gigantic bear.
This bear, I know this bear.
This is the first thing that I bought.
And you gave it to your mother or your sister?
First, it was just for me. I was having fun with it.
I know.
So this was the first thing. When I got the money, I went to the mall and I bought the bear. Then I bought...
How much was the bear?
It was not expensive, maybe 70 euro. For me then, it was not expensive. I was very rich.
What a karma.
Yeah. This was actually my dream. This is the point that I want to give. My dream since I'm small, this is what was my meditation. I want to get a lot of money without too much work. Because like money that you get from work is one feeling. I wanted the feeling to get money without work.
Yeah.
Like do some project for one day or just find it on the street. I want it like this. Yeah. And when I'm young, I was thinking, if I get the money when I'm 40, who cares? I want to get money.
He is 40. So no problem.
When I was 14, 15, I was thinking 40, your life is finished.
Yeah, like, I know. Yeah.
You're alive or dead after 40. Same. That was my mentality. That was my dream. To get a lot of money from nowhere when I am under 20.
Okay.
And it happened. Like 50,000 euro for me was like exactly what I wanted. I was also thinking like how much like this will be good. Like this money will be good. And it's exactly something like that.
Wow.
So my dream came true. And I will not tell you a lot of things that I did, but what happened is that Krishna kept me safe. He didn't give me any satisfaction from this money. Like, I was thinking maybe the girls will be after me. There was not. There was not. No girls.
No girls.
No, they don't care. I
You're
don't
a
know
nice
why.
boy.
And maybe because I was in Krishna just protected me. He was sending me just girls that don't care about money, so they didn't care about me because I didn't have nothing else than only money at this point. Because I know that there are girls that they will like some guy with money even if he have nothing else. And I was young, I had nice body, I was doing exercise. Somehow Krishna protected me. Girls didn't care about me even with this money. Friends also. Actually, this was the point when I was disgusted from my friends the most. Like, not just because it's not that they tried so much to use me for the money. Just I had some realizations. Like, they was making some nonsense jokes with me, this and that. Like, I bought some fish. It was my friend.
Fish.
Yeah, I bought fish. This is also one of the first things that I did with the money. I bought fish.
For eating?
No, for swimming in my room. I put it in a...
Okay.
The name was Charlie. What? So there was Charlie.
Okay.
I put it in some salad bowl. Salad bowl.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. And it was,
You put Charlie in the salad bowl.
Yes. And there was water also. Yeah. So, and my friends came to my home and they hide Charlie. They took Charlie and put it in some glass and they said,
God.
we put him in the toilet. And they was making joke with me maybe 2 hours. And I was, and they knew that, and I was very strict about this, not killing animals and him. So with this, I was extremely strict. And I really believed them, but like, not really, but kind of believe, kind of not. And they was making fun. I was so angry and I kicked them all out. And at the end, my best friend, he thought, no, it's a joke. And I kicked him also out. I was very angry. And I had some realizations that my friends are nonsense, that money don't give you happiness. Like, one of my dreams was to anytime go to any restaurant that I want and eat. Okay. And I did it many times and I was not happy.
Wow.
Also, I spent a big part. Half of the money I gave to my father investigation. Half of the money I spent it for 2 months and half. Yes. Yes.
Okay. 25.
Like almost 3 months. I spent almost all of the other half for some nonsense and mainly for casino because I did all these nice things like the bear, the fish, and then I went to some casino to play and I won 500 euro. And I was like, this is very nice. Why I have to leave from here? And it was a casino in a hotel and I won this money. Then I was still staying at this guy, but I went to this casino and he never saw me again. I went to the casino, then I went sleeping to the hotel, then in the morning again to the casino, and I spent 70% of my half that was with me there for 1 week in this casino.
Oh, Krishna.
Then I went out of the casino. I was like, this is not very good. And I made my first tattoo, a big cross on my back. And that meant that I give a vow that I finish with the casino, no casino again. And yeah.
Wow.
Then I had some 5,000 euro more. And I rent some apartment and I stay there, smoking weed and cigarettes and meeting with some of my best friend there. I stopped communicating with everyone. I was disgusted from everyone. Only one guy was there and we were smoking weed and doing exercise. That's all that I was doing.
Yeah, at least exercises are not...
Yeah, not so bad.
Not so bad.
Yes.
Keep you in Rajas, not completely in Tamas.
So this is what I did. I want to remember, did I start then with some Tursunov or not? I think I started with some Tursunov. You know Tursunov? If you're a devotee, maybe not so important. If you're not, look for Oleg Tursunov. He have also English lectures.
Yeah.
He's
Or Audaria Damprabhu.
Audaria Damprabhu. He is giving knowledge how to keep your body and your mind healthy, especially for non-devotees, but also for devotees who don't have a lot of knowledge about these topics is also good. So I was a little bit listening from him. Since I'm small, I know him very well. Actually, this is what my parents gave me. They gave me, maybe you don't know something, but you know where to find it if you need.
Okay.
Like most of the people, they don't know where to find it.
Yeah.
And what my parents gave me, I knew. Like I knew if I want good health, I go and listen to this guy. If I want to become spiritual, I go to these guys.
Yes.
If I want to. Yes. So I knew. So I was listening to him. It was my punishment when I was small. At one point, you do this, you have to listen to 2 hours lecture of Tursunov.
Wow. Yes. I've never heard about this kind of punishment for a kid.
It is actually not good. Don't punish your kids with something that is good because then they start hating and they give a vow to not do nothing with Krishna. Don't do this with your kids. Punish them with something. Tell them now you are punished. You don't listen to lecture.
You will not chant anymore.
Yes. So I was smoking weed and doing exercise, and then something in my mind started a little bit changing, and I put other cross for cigarettes to stop cigarettes. And then I put other cross for weed. It's like in matter of few weeks, every cross, and I was doing exercise.
But nothing special happened.
Just I was as always. I wanted to become successful and rich and this and that. But when I got the money, I had some realization that this easy money and these friends are all nonsense, and I wanted something more than. And it was difficult to stop the bad things that was stopping me from this something. So I was still doing them, and little by little doing exercise, trying to eat healthy food, meeting with only one friend that was okay, and listening a little bit of Tursunov.
And what about your parents that time?
They was disappointed for me, thinking that I'm still the same, because I'm living in other place and they don't know what's happening, and they thought, oh, this guy, he's like.
Did you meet some devotees at that time?
No. I just was staying at this apartment and doing this. Okay. I was isolated from normal people, only bad people. And then I put cross for casino, then cigarettes, then weed. Other cross for all other drugs is there.
Okay.
And when this happened, I was still drinking alcohol. And at this point, my parents called me that there is festival in Ukraine to invite me to this festival.
Which year was that?
I have to ask them.
But you were around 18, 19?
I was 18. It's everything that I'm telling you is 18. 18 I got the money, 18 I got disappointed, 18 I put all these crosses. It was in matter of weeks.
Okay.
I was changing very fast then. So when they invited me to this festival, and even before this festival, I remember I became quite normal guy. I started putting program in my list, and there was still going do nonsense with my friends. There was still alcohol. But the other parts of the day I was doing good things. Like I was very much into Jyotish then. I was doing my day in all the muhurtas, I remember.
Wow.
Muhurtas, but not just the muhurtas, because there is also the planets in muhurtas, and maybe one so it was,
I understand.
So I was very much into this thing to become successful, of course. Also there was one muhurta that is very good to do spiritual practice. So then, just to become materially successful, I was like, okay, now I will listen kirtan in this muhurta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then it is crazy. Don't listen to this Jyotish too much, because there was this Jyotish calendar, and one of the days I'm looking at the Jyotish calendar and said, it's very bad for spiritual practice today. I was like, what? Sorry? There is day bad for spiritual practice? So what I'm supposed to do drugs or what? So
I understand.
They offered me to come to this festival.
Yes.
So I went to this festival just to learn some material things again, because it was kind of for new people. There was a lot of cooking healthy food, healthy life, this, that, and also, of course, Hare Krishna, going to the mountains. So I went there. It was very nice. I was chanting there even. And mainly I went because there was my ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
Yes, it was already ex. Before that, I had few years devotee girlfriend in Russia. I was in Bulgaria. I was doing all kinds of nonsense. She didn't know that. Then she was crying, and then she left me. And then I was still interested to see my ex devotee.
But your relation was from distance.
Yes, we met each other once or twice a year. And for me, that was the point because I was very nonsense guy. I'm so sorry. I told her sorry many times. So yeah, doesn't matter. So one of the main reasons was that I want to see her also at this festival.
Okay.
Because I knew she is going to this festival every year. So I went there, and it was crazy because it happened that at the same time, at the same city, there are two devotional festivals. And she's in the other one. So she was not there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't meet her. But actually, I went to see her. And there was her new boyfriend. Yeah, so...
Oh, and your heart was broken.
It was not broken because... Yeah, never mind. I was a little bit sad. But it was okay. So at this festival, I became a little bit more spiritualized, association with devotees. Then I came back, still doing some alcohol, still doing some parties. And I think that when I came back, I stayed with my parents now. There was not so much. There was coronavirus started. Yes, coronavirus started, and we lived together because we will all die, and we have to be safe together, and this and that. And then I started to do a lot of austerities. I started meditating just on nothing. It was so difficult. Like 1 hour, sit, you put alarm, and 1 hour you try to think about nothing. It's crazy.
But this is not Krishna consciousness.
No. No. I was still not so much into Krishna consciousness. I was using this and that for my material benefit. And I decided to do some austerities. At one point, I decided that I have to go to somewhere outside, survive, and this and that. And I went
in the forest.
Yeah, and it was winter time, like -1, 2, 3. I went to the forest with a big barrel of water, so that I have water, with tent, with machete, with bradva, with axe, and little bit of food, and one pot. No plates. I forgot the plates. I forgot the spoons. I forgot everything. So yeah, it was. And I went to some high place, not mountain, but very high place.
So you wanted to be like some mystic yogi?
No, I just wanted to do strong man character
in the forest.
Yes.
Nice. During this COVID period.
Yes.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, yes. I realized already that money is not happiness, that girls is not happiness, that parties is not happiness. I wanted to become very successful, change the world, and become famous for being great person and real man and strong guy. Yeah. So I went to the forest. I was surviving in the forest. It was very scary. Nighttime was all these, not wolves, but these
jackals.
Yeah, they do like and you can hear there a lot of them, and they're far away. But at one point you hear them behind your back, like you feel like they're 20 meters, and it's night, and you're in the forest, and you're alone, and you hear like 200 of them doing. It was very scary. Yeah, and I was sleeping in front of the fire because I think there was -5. I had nice clothes, but still, if I was not in front of the fire, I would die. So when I feel my back is cold, then I have to turn with the back to the fire. When I feel my face is cold, I have to turn with face to the fire. If the back and the face both are cold, means that I have to put wood in the fire. Yeah, that was. And in the morning, I break the ice on the barrel of water, and I put some water on myself. Then I take some ash from the fire because I don't have soap, and soap is for weak people. You have to use ash. I put ash, and I'm
But
like,
is this like?
yeah, it is cleaning.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
that's why yogis put ash.
You can use.
It's
ash.
antiseptic. Yeah,
Oh.
very good.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's useful.
and I think I was little bit chanting.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it changed my mind. Like, I recommend to everyone to do this actually. If you are not devotee, because devotees have many much better practices, but this is very purifying. Like, you're in the forest. I went without the phone, just with one phone that you can only call. So I was 1 week, no humans, no internet, no TV, just very, very, very cold and very pure air and nature and surviving. And your mind becomes very clean. And before this, I was still not going to any program. But after this, I came back, and I remember my parents told me, we're going to program, you want to come? And it was first time that I said, oh yeah, okay, I'll come.
So COVID was finished that time?
Oh, maybe it's mistake. Yeah, maybe it's. I'm sorry. Maybe it was before COVID. It is all before COVID. I'm sorry. It was all before COVID. But somehow I was with my parents. Maybe somebody went to this apartment, but I was with my parents. I did all this austerity thing.
Okay.
Then they invited me to the program.
In Varna?
And yeah, and in this forest thing, I decided to chant one round, and I was chanting one round, and it was too much. Like one round, it took me like 40 minutes for one round. Because I was like, Hare Krishna, I have to, because I read in internet, you have to hear every name. So I was like this, and it was taking me 40 minutes. It was so difficult. And I was like, I have to sit in this lotus asana.
Like now?
No, not like now. Like you put your here and here. Lotus asana with straight back and not moving at all. If you move, you go to hell. That was my mentality then. Not moving in lotus, pronouncing and hearing perfectly every name, and it was like one round was even too much. But at this program, I made this devotee Goranga Karunasindhu, if you see hello, and he was giving a very long lecture, maybe 3 hours lecture.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and for everybody was too much, but for me was perfect. I'm from the forest. I am very happy to listen to humans. And I was listening so carefully. It was so nice, this lecture for me then. And then he told me, after every Ekadashi, one Ekadashi, second Ekadashi, you increase with one round. I was like, okay, I take it as an instruction. So I started doing this.
Nice.
And after this point, I started chanting more. And also I gave some other small vows without big cross, but yeah, actually it was also crazy. I gave some small vows without big cross, but if I but if I break some of these small vows, I was putting some smaller crosses with knife on my arms. But not with cutting, I was making it with fire and doing like yeah, so I have like 7-8 crosses like this here for breaking smaller vows. And my father at one point told me, oh, this is austerity in Tamaguna. And I was like, and then I stopped.
Good. This is good that you have stopped.
So yeah, I gave some smaller vows, and then after I realized this is Tamaguna, I started punishing myself with everything. I break some small vow. I was chanting one round more before Ekadashi.
Okay.
So very fast, it happened to be 8-10 rounds. It was very fast. Yeah, in a matter of few weeks, I was chanting, I think, 12 rounds. So then I also started. I asked my father to come to the temple, and I was in the temple, and I was amazed. Oh, these people are so spiritual, so nice. Then I was ready to appreciate that, because I was meeting devotees so many times. I was always trying to escape them. While, like, summertime when I was small at home,
Yeah.
devotees come to our house all the time, and they do kirtan and everything. I was trying to never see them, because I knew they will ask me, "Are you chanting? Are you this? Are you that?" I was like trying never to see them, but never offending them, because this I remember from one lecture that I was punished to listen, that if you offend devotees, this is the worst thing, and you go to hell. So I was trying to be respectful all the time.
Krishna.
But yeah, and then I was appreciating. Then after all this, I went to the temple with my father. I remember, actually it was crazy. I fasted on Ekadashi at home with my father. Then all night we drive to Sofia. Morning Mangal Arati, then chanting. And I remember I stand up quickly, and because before this all day fasting and all night driving, not sleeping, and next day Mangal Arati and chanting, and I stand up and I lose my
Consciousness.
and I fall.
You fall down.
Yeah, I fall down and I break the edge of the Vyasasan. I broke it with my head. You can see it. It's in the middle side. There is a big puknatina from my head. And I remember myself just like I'm standing up, and then I remember like I'm waking up and all devotees are around me.
Do you remember
He was there, no? Oh, he was there. Okay. So yeah. I was amazed from all these devotees chanting 16 rounds and all these lectures. And then I saw these Tulsi Pandava again. Since I'm small, I knew that they are saint people, this Tulsi and Pandava. Tulsi and Pandava are very nice. If you don't know them, there is the King of Knowledge, other YouTube channel. You can see them.
The interview before you was with Tulsi Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you didn't listen to the last interview, listen to it, and also all other interviews. Okay. You're missing out. So I came to there, and I was like, I know that to advance spiritually, you need guru. Please be my gurus.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, okay. And I asked what I'm supposed to do, and they said, what are your plans? And I said, all my plans. Then my plans was to start with opening a restaurant, then make it a lot of restaurants, and in general I had little bit too big plans. Then I believe that I can do everything with austerity and knowledge. I can do everything, and my plan was to change the world. My plan was to, because I think I'm Vaishya by nature, so I was planning to do it through this. I thought that I have to do global businesses with everything, and do it in moral way. Like, I have to make movies that are like Hollywood movies that are preaching only good things, and that the people are now watching only these movies. That I have to do worldwide restaurants and hotels that are like also preaching good things, and I have to do worldwide newspaper that also preaching good things, and I have to crush all these demons and whatever with my businesses.
Okay, you have time.
So that's what I told to Tulsi Pandava, and I was like, yeah, okay, you can do this, but please read 10 verses from Bhagavad Gita every day. So then I started reading 10 verses from Bhagavad Gita and chanting this my rounds. And if I remember correctly, no, I already had cross for drinking. I'm missing a lot of things, but maybe it would be too much if I say everything. Yeah, already I had also cross for drinking. Then no drinking, no nothing. Then yeah. So then I came home, and then because then started the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I decided every week to go to the temple from Varna to Sofia. It's 6 hours ride. I decided to go to the temple every month, at least for 5 days, 1 week to go there, and all the other time, my things like businesses, find wife, make the perfect family, like Tursunov is saying how to do it.
Wow.
Yes, that was actually my first 2 years in kind of Krishna consciousness. Mainly was listening to lectures how to be a real man and how to find perfect woman and make perfect family and make perfect business.
Interesting.
That was 2 years I was studying only this mainly.
Okay. So you have the knowledge? No?
Kinda, theoretically. I was listening hours and hours how to do family life. So that was my plan. To do this, and 1 week in the month to be in the temple. And then the coronavirus started, and I was with my parents, and there was like they forbid me to go anywhere because I will die, because I will get sick from corona and I will die, and also I will get them sick, they will also die. Yeah, they was a little bit fanatic about this, somehow propaganda. And I was practicing chanting. I also gave out to not do nonsense in internet, to not watch karmi movies.
That time you were in this apartment in the sea garden.
Yes, with my parents, with my mother, father. And there was very nice thing that happened. This devotee, I forgot his name, this Russian devotee organized to preach to the karmis. He organized like austerity for the people to contradict the coronavirus. And he was like, oh, there is this ancient book, Bhagavatam. It was spoken for 7 days. Now let's all together do this again. Let's read the Bhagavatam for 7 days. And put the credit to fight the corona. And there was like hundreds and hundreds of karmis interested in this. Yeah, maybe even thousands, I don't remember. And there was full program of the day for 1 week. He said, it will be best if you fast 1 week. No water, no food. And I was like, yes, let's do it.
And you did it?
And my father also.
Without water?
After day 2 or 3, I started drinking water. After day 4, I started eating like 1 banana per day. I didn't do it fully. And because of not eating, I almost didn't need to sleep. I slept like for 3 hours, from 10 in the evening until 12 or 1.
Oh, wow.
I was sleeping and I was good all day, was reading this Bhagavatam whole day.
Wow.
And it was programmed. He was reading online and all the people was reading together. We read, and also some gurus was giving lectures, Charan, and also there was a point when some yogi came and do some exercise, so that because we all day sit and read.
Yeah.
So it was a week very focused on this. But at day 3 or 4, I felt that I have to do something. I was very amazed with this program, and I wrote to him, can I help somehow for your project? And he told, yes, you can. Can you edit videos? And I said, yes, of course. But I don't. I can. And I started. Then I stopped reading, stopped doing everything. I was just all day long watching videos how to edit videos, and the other half I was editing the videos from the.
Yeah. Okay.
From this, so yeah, and this was very strong impact for my spiritual life. I did some service by reading Bhagavatam, also then by editing these videos. And I was very eager to go to the temple this once in a month. I wanted to see devotees. I was calling them. I remember it was actually a very good time in my spiritual life. I was so serious. I was so nice. I was chanting 16 rounds. When I wake up, I take cold shower, put dhoti, even my parents don't. I put dhoti tiwak at home and chant 16 rounds before I do whatever else. I don't watch, don't speak, don't eat, don't drink. I have to finish my rounds first. Wow. Like sitting in a room in the dark with few candles so that I can meditate, and one picture of Krishna, and I look at Krishna and I chant 16 rounds. It was so nice actually. So that's why I changed so fast then, because I was serious. Be serious. Yeah, and because of this, I was very eager to see the devotees again. But I was not able. My parents was not allowing me to go to the devotees. And I was just calling them. And I remember I called Ishvara Chandra. I said, my whole day is good, but there is one point when I take prasadam, it's very tasty, and I forget about Krishna. and he was like, you can listen nice bhajans. And from this day, actually, it's tradition for my whole life. When I eat food, especially when I'm alone, I'm listening to bhajans.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
like Ishvara Chandra.
Your mercy.
Yeah, yes. And then the coronavirus finished.
Yay!
And I was ready to go for 1 week to the temple. And I came, and I never came back home. That was it. I came to the temple, and I stayed here. And then at some point I was like, can I be a brahmachari like you to do span? They was like, no, you can't. And I was like, oh, I have to become for sure. Then if I can, then for sure I have to. When they say you cannot, then You think for sure I have to do it.
Yes, yes.
So I was like, okay. And I stayed in a temple for a few years already. Some other nonsense happened again in my life, some problems, but I'm still here.
That was the point that you...
How I came to Krishna
How
consciousness.
you came to Krishna.
Okay, so that's how I came.
Yeah.
Then I went to a temple and
And the rest is history.
yes.
Yeah. How old are you now?
Now I'm 25. I came to temple when I was 19. Oh, many years.
6
Yeah.
years. Nice. Thank you very much, Prabhu. That was really interesting and amazing story. I didn't know these details about your story. I remember some of them because I know you back then. But yeah, thank you. It was very nice.
Thank you for inviting me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.